So we're here. We're here to tackle this underwriting
Yep.
challenge that we kind of created for ourselves to hold ourselves accountable.
Yes, sir.
And we came to a decision. We're going to start off doing 2 sessions a week,
Hmm.
and we're a lot aligned. So we're buy and hold investors. That's kind of our avatar. And now we're changing strategies into more something that pencils in this day and time, which is the rent by root model, the co-living model. So we agreed. Let's say, hey, let's start a kind of a dating process and to
Yeah.
see if we commingle, see if we can create an opportunity since we belong in not only one but two, maybe a couple of the same communities, right? There's sub communities within our communities, right?
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
and we happen to be involved in that as well. And his Lance's pod, our pod came out today. Actually, we did a pod last week, and
I saw it.
and I premiered it this morning. So a lot of our paths are crossing lately. So again, we're here to take on this challenge to be able to assist people who are not as fortunate and looking for a place to stay that's safe and somewhere they can call home.
Yep.
And so now we're
Facts.
taking on these challenges and underwriting some of these properties. And we do have this great calculator, super robust. It kind of tells it all. That it can be somewhat intimidating as well, but once you get in there and
Here.
right, uh, you get to get a rhythm, right? It's about catching a rhythm. How do you? Because these deals are more creative deals, so and sub two deals, so you kind of plug and play the numbers, especially on the seller finance side. You can move around some levers, so there's a little art to that as well. But yeah, let's make it happen.
Let's do it.
But yeah, if we can find something on our exclusive site to kind of look over our
We can.
our parameters, maybe
Yeah. Here. I'll share my screen, and we can look together. All right. Hell. Hold on. There you go.
I'll
You
see.
see anything?
It's up. I see it. It's a little small for me, but I guess you
Uh.
could put in some filters, right? Some
Yep. Right now I've got ATL
okay.
and I've got no HOA,
That's
and this
great.
is what we got.
All right, cool. So let's see
This
what
first one.
let's dive in and see what we got. Again, this is kind of a practice session that we're going through and just to get comfortable with this particular calculator. So that's why we came together and if the information is there, we'll take you through the process to underwrite it, see if it's something
Now I
that
don't. I don't think this is a good one just for the square footage. That 1100. Uh,
sure.
I know Michael's wanting, a 4243, but like 1700, so he can add a couple more 2-3 rooms in there.
Absolutely, and this is how you sift through something real quick. You already know your nose, right? This is like
Yep.
Lance said, this is a hard pass already, just on the square footage is not there. So this is something that you'll pass immediately.
Gainesville. This is huge,
Okay.
but something that just caught my eye. I've heard of Gainesville, but right here behind the house is all those woods and all that. We want to be in the pad split, you know, uh, market. So I don't know if Gainesville is in the pad split market.
Sure. Maybe that's if you have your path split up, then you can maybe log into that as well,
I got it.
and then we can punch in that zip code from that subject property. Again,
Let's
this is the
see.
kind of the steps you go through. You find a subject property, you go into your pad split. If you're a host, you go in your host section and you punch in your information and you start diving in.
Uh, I guess I should have put Gainesville. I can spell.
Good.
There we go. Boom. So this is a pass. They only got 58 units there.
Yeah, this is a
7 upcoming.
yeah. That's not a
Just
robust market. It might be an upcoming market, and the numbers are just not there. If you want also competition
hold on.
for
That's Florida.
Gainesville is in Florida. And there's a Gainesville in Georgia that I don't know about.
Yeah, I know about the Florida, but it says right there Gainesville, Georgia.
Well, interesting.
So hold on. Let's. Now I can't click in it. Hold on. Let's refresh. Because I know that's where them Florida Gators are.
Sure.
All right. So Gainesville, Georgia. That's still saying Florida.
Can you just punch in the zip?
All right. There
Yeah.
we go.
Okay. Sounds different.
Even worse. 12 units.
That's
But yeah, so that's
a little north.
that's too far. Yeah.
It's a little north of the main city, a little on the outskirts.
Yep.
And those numbers are not, something that you kind of pass on that as well. That's something that
Something that we are looking for to give people an idea is Atlanta. We got 6,300 units, 665 coming up. All
see,
right.
and that's the primary Atlanta. That's Atlanta proper. That's the city of Atlanta. So that's going to be a lot of high demand. Obviously, the drivers are there, the jobs, the airport, right, the corporations. And then you want to get to the outskirts of that as well, the surrounding areas where people can take not public, maybe public transportation, or it's an easy commute, an easy drive into the city. So you want to stay maybe in the primary, secondary markets to look at. And again, the platform is going to tell you, like we were checking now, where past split is active and moving and grooving.
And this right here, almost 33,000 searches in the past 30 days. So people need it. People want it. They're looking for it. So
Again,
that's why Atlanta is an
and
outstanding market.
when you hover over the counties, like Lance is doing, it's going to give you the specs of that particular county, let's say, or zone, or what's happening, how many units are up, how many units are upcoming. So you're going to be able to gauge
They're
what's
average because
happening.
we're gonna take those into our spreadsheet.
Uh, so that one was a pass, you said, Lance?
Yep, this Gainesville I think's a
All right,
pass.
let's go into
Let's go to the next one.
get something under our belts here.
Where's Griffin at?
I think that we're going to see.
30224.
That's south, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah,
How south is
uh,
it?
right there in the middle of what's that? Macon
That's a
in
little,
Atlanta.
yeah,
It's a little spot.
that's a little outwards. What are the numbers saying?
Upcoming market.
Lakeland,
Yep.
okay, 170. If the size of the room fits, the square footage fits, this is kind of where you say, all right, maybe there's something here. Let's take it to the calculator. This is Lakeland. This is in between Tampa and Orlando. That's the I-4 corridor. And again, it's in between two major cities, sort of, right? Tampa and
Yep.
Orlando. So this is where people kind of migrate to live if these cities are too expensive. I think the drive from Orlando to Tampa, it's about an hour, a little over an hour. I've done it. So again, that's a center point of the city. Let's say that's where we can go east or we can go west. So I think there's something here. I think this is where we might dive into the calculator.
All right,
Sweet.
here we go.
So initially we're gonna get all the property information,
I'm actually gonna rename it
rename the
Lake.
cat to Lakeland.
Yep. That way, whenever it goes in with my other underwriting stuff, I'll know. Oh, okay. I remember this one's Lakeland,
Sure.
and then
I'll pull the information from
copy that. Oh, all right. We'll have to go this route then. Just type it in. I'll just put Haines City. It is a 4/3/24/42. 4/3/24/42. All right.
there's a
So
sub
it's a
two.
sub two deal. 387,593. Now this is the first part we put in. The second part is over here.
Correct.
Creative financing.
And then there's a lever in the first entry where we're putting the property information where it kind of pencils in as a LTV, I mean a long-term rental, a pad split, short-term rentals. So
Yeah.
uh, you can leave it at, well, as a long-term rental, you want it to be cash flow neutral. Let's say you're not making anything, not losing anything, right? Or you can pencil it in and go automatically and pencil it in as a pad split and go straight to that model, right? And
Yep.
for some reason it might not pencil in as a long term, but it pencils in as a pad split. And in the future, you want to sell the property, you're gonna sell it to someone creatively as well who can pick up the business. 'Cause this is a business, and you can sell it as a pad split itself through our, through the number. Obviously the number is going to tell you this is a deal, there's some meat on the bone here. So and then from here on, as Lance said, we're going to go into the second portion.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and put pad split because that's
Sure.
what we want it to be right now. So
Absolutely. So that's going to be able to pencil in those numbers when we move down the course of the calculator. And
um,
if you could extend it a little bit, that'd be dope so people can see it.
uh,
If you can get a little bit bigger if possible, where people can where this, yeah, we can just move it
I
around.
don't know how
I think that's good. I think that's good.
that's good right there.
Yeah, yeah. Can you?
All right. So we'll go over here to the second box.
Sure.
Purchase price 387,593.
And these are numbers from wholesalers that we're going to then try to confirm. And let's say a prop stream or privy or some sort of platform where you can verify this information. And the sub two is the exact loan amount that's due on the note. So there's nothing you can do about that number itself because that's what's owed on the property. If it was a seller finance, and obviously the owner owns it outright, and then you can set terms. So those are ideal deals, but we're working with what we have now. And then we have an entry fee, which is the cost up front, and
All
doesn't
right.
get
Uh, the entry fee, I'm going to hard code it in here.
get
Uh, just to the obviously for people who hadn't ever seen this calculator before, I just want to kind of show them how intense
It's
this thing is.
a
We've
very,
got
very robust calculator.
all these boxes, all right, to put stuff in. Expenses, your reserves, your balloon, your seller finance, your sub two loans.
So that loan is going to go right there as well.
What was that? 366, 713. That's what you're seeing.
367, three. The purchase price 367 593, I believe.
387,
3
593.
387 593.
All right. Oh, I was taking them around. Hold on, I'm sorry. You got all this that you fill out up top. Now you come back down here, and Mando was saying deal or no deal. As of right now, this is a no deal. Uh, Looking to make, and this goes off of long term right here. So that this is not our pad split section. This is long term, and we didn't put in our monthly long term rents. So that that doesn't really mean anything right yet.
Sure. We still got to do have some inputs to confirm the
Here's
rest of
our
it.
seller financing. So if they didn't owe anything on the property, um, it's up to us and the seller on what do we want to agree on to sell the property. So this way, you reduce it 2.5. Well, the purchase price will be this, down payment. Pretty self-explanatory there. Still coming down. Interest rates, payments, cash flow. But where we want to get into, as far as us, is right here, this pad split. All right. So, well, when we get to it, we'll show you. I'm just trying to show you the calculator itself. I know a lot of people are like, "Hey, how big is this calculator? Do I even want to continue the video?" Uh, but yes, continue the video because it can do everything. There's your midterm for your traveling nurses, your construction crews that they may want to do a midterm, which is typically anywhere from a month to 6 months at a time. You'd put that in here. A midterm is just longer than an Airbnb, which is short term. Um, and everyone knows Airbnb. So
Yeah.
yeah, you've seen the calculator now. Now let's get back to the
Let's get to the real.
yep. All right, so the entry costs were what?
We're going to save the entry cost for a second, right? Because did we punch in the property information and the sub two loan on the back end on the
All
and
the way
it,
over?
yeah, and is there a that's the original loan terms, and is there a balloon? Did we see a balloon on there?
No.
Okay.
Nope. Now we see the interest rates 5.25. So we can go over here, put 5.25. Now this is saying just the principal and interest is $2,100. We'll come back here. All right, their taxes and insurance that they're saying is another $700. So we can get granular as far as 2863. All right. What right now we're just seeing if the deal is going to make sense. But we can come over here and we can actually figure out the taxes, figure out the insurance, just to know the exact numbers. But right now, the wholesaler is saying, "Hey, the monthly payment is going to be 2863 for principal, interest, taxes, and insurance." So, and Mando, tell me if you're thinking differently. 2863. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to make this 2863,
And
and I'm
then,
going to cancel out these taxes and insurance.
yeah, and if you want to get, like I said, like you said earlier, you want to get more granular. If you have, you can go into prop stream. I don't know if you have prop stream, Lance, where
Yep.
you could go into prop stream and punch in the address just to get some confirmation on these numbers and get a origination date on the loan itself. You can confirm some of these numbers.
So we're at 853 Blue Creek Drive. All right. Something I like to do is just, okay, I ain't never been to Haines City. So I just like to
To get
back
it.
out of here just to get a bird's eye view of what we got going on. All right. But here we go. This is saying it's on market. Something I like to do is come over here. It's a VA loan, estimated 4%. So they've had it a little over a year as of our recording. We'll go to, let's just look at some comps just to make me happy. Date range, I always start out at 6 months behind, and then I always go prop stream's crazy because you can't hit 0.25. You got to hit 2.5 and then come back and hit the point for the quarter mile out. All right. So now I'm looking. This is our subject property. Look at all these comps right here. So this looks like new builds right here. But something that I like doing is I'll come over here. A lot of times if stuff's for rent, it'll be under this amount and it'll mess up your figures up here of your average price and price per square foot. So if I see something, I'll just uncheck it. Um, we're looking at all of them. Ours is a 4.2.5. Looks like all these are 4.3, so roughly the same. The square footage, roughly the same. You can be, I believe it's 10% within a 10% range. And something else Prop String has that's pretty cool is a subdivision. All these are in the same subdivision. So you know you're definitely in the right neighborhood. That being said, I just click back. Ah, whoa. we go. So all that being said, um, I'm gonna look here because we know that these are new builds. We got a house on our property, whereas right here, that's just land. We can click it. We can click details. We'll bring up another tab. See there. So maybe they purchased it already and the house hadn't been built yet. I don't know, but I like to comp single family to single family. So I'm gonna take this vacant land out. I don't necessarily know exactly what's going on right there. So that's putting us in the 367 range where they're wanting 367, 387. Mortgage balance of 367. So I think we're good right here. What you think?
Sure.
All right, so we come back to the calculator. We're going to put 0 down for the simple fact of I hard coded it. And if you do this differently, please tell me how you do it. I just hard coded in here because it's just easier for me than guessing everything else. You can only go off of the information that the wholesaler gives you. That's why we're going through this now to see if we even need to contact a wholesaler to say, hey, can you do this? Can you do that?
So we have that. We have those inputs. And then if you want to dive in as well, and you want to kind of confirm the taxes and insurance as well, you can go into smart assets, into the property tax calculator.
And all that's linked right here. So you just click it and it goes there. So, and then the same with the insurance. If you're not sure, so if somebody only gave you the principal and interest payments, and you're like, what is what's the taxes and insurance going to be? Well, you can come here and figure it out and put it in these boxes right here.
Right. So we can do that, or we can, however you want to feel about that, Lance. And
Well, that they already gave us the whole pity right here.
okay, cool. So we could just
Yep.
import that. And again, that's just stuff that you want to use. Maybe you want to be more granular and confirm some of those numbers. You can go and follow those steps that Lance has provided with those links. And I do have a special surprise. I'm going to text it to you where, let me find it first if I have it.
Now, something else that we have to change in this calculator is the loan taking over. We're not. This isn't a hybrid deal. For those of you that don't know, a hybrid deal is sub two and seller finance at the same time. Let's say you're doing purchase price is 300,000. You've got 200,000 on your mortgage, and you've got 100,000 of equity. So I'm going to take over the 200,000 note, and then me and the seller are going to come to agreements on what the payment of that seller finance, that $100,000 in equity is. That's called a hybrid.
Yep. And that calculator there, is, as you can see, it says, you can zoom in a little bit, it says hybrid as well. Interesting. So yeah, so you have the smart assets property tax, where you can find that, your vhomeInsurance.com, where you can find your research your location of the property if you need to for the taxes and analyze it from there. And if you want to find the rents, you can use Rentometer or Rentometer as well if you have the pro version or not, and you could kind of sift through rents there as well. See, Lance,
Zillow.
Lance has it all. See, Lance comes prepared, man. This guy,
Nah.
this guy has it all.
Uh, 853. This is part of the processes and systems that you're talking about. It's stuff you need to be able to underwrite stuff. So we know it's 4 beds, it's more than 1.5 baths. We're going 6 months back. We know it's a house.
Correct.
You don't have to put in these prices or any of that. We're going to just check rents. Boom. I always look at the median. I don't know why, so don't ask me. But that's just, I guess, because it's a little bit more conservative than the average. So if me underwriting, and this is for long term. So if we're this 2150, if we go back into our calculator, we go up here to the current rent. That's going to be 2150 because that's per month. All right, that's not going to be for per room or short term, midterm. That's long term per month rent. You also can go uh, Zillow has rents, Airbnb, AirDNA, Furnished Finder, so that there's all kinds of ways. Once you get into it, that hey, we'll just go into Zillow for example. All right, we know Haines City. All right, we got for rent. We got a house, the entire place. Now for pad split, we can come right here and go buy the room. What? How much a room? All right, you can see right here, $700 a room. Right here. All right. So yet another metric to look at for when you're underwriting. I forget what we was looking at.
Rent.
Entire place. It's a 4-bedroom. It's a 3-bath.
3.
So now we scroll down in here. I could just take a glance and verify that my renometer is almost spot on because I'm thinking 2100. We got 2100s, 25, 27s, 2000s. Looks like this is a more pricier area in the city. I can also put in the 853. What was the name of it? Blues. I know I keep going back and forth to this thing. Blue Creek Drive. There it goes. Now Zillow is weird. Sometimes it'll look like this, other times it'll look different. I don't know why, but there'll be times where there's stuff running along this side and it'll give you a rental estimate or a zestimate, as they call it. They'll also tell you how much the house is worth. So, something we're going to do is go down here. and just look and see what stuff is paid. All right, price change to 390. At 390, that's kind of where we're at right now. A lot of times there'll be, if an investor has it, it'll say rent, and it'll say how much they want rent, and then if it's rented, it'll take it off, and you'll know, oh, it rented for $2,100. So you find a spot, you find somewhere else to verify that number. So back to the calculator. All right. So we know that there's zero seller finance, and we know that we're taking over
387, 593.
now we're taking
No,
over
the
to
balance.
366. Yep. 366, 713. There's our monthly payment. All right. Wholesaler fees go anywhere from 3,000 to 15,000 to it's up to the wholesaler. We don't know what it is right now, so I'm just gonna leave the 10,000 in there. Let's get down to this pad split. All right. We're going to look up here. It's a 4-bed, 2,400 square foot. Do you want to go through these pictures, or you just want to assume we can probably put 3 or 4 more?
Yeah, let's go back to the calculator. Yeah, we just make the assumption that this
Because what we see has got a garage. We can turn that garage into rooms.
for
So we know
sure.
that's at least 2, more than likely. Uh, so
You want to take a look? We take a look.
let's let,
What we got?
I think we'll be all right. I think we can get 4 in there.
Okay.
All right, $6,500 to put some walls up um, and some flooring in there. Got to furnish it. Um, you don't have to go to IKEA and spend $6,000 a room, so it's already pre-factored in there 1,500. So now our entry cost is $67,000.
And although, see, if you look in the house and you see maybe there's a master bedroom that has a shower, or that you can call it an ensuite, then you're gonna get a premium for that, right? So that's going into knowing those parameters of the property itself, where then you could input if that house has those rooms available, then you can input those numbers as well.
Correct. Now, what we're going to do is go in here to the pad split, their data,
Give me 1 second.
and they don't even have the data.
What data are you looking for?
How much a week they're
Oh, the rooms.
yep. All right, let's just for just to be able to get some kind of numbers. You can also call once you sign on to Pad Split, you'll get a representative, and you can call them, and they can give you the numbers as well. But just to show you here we go. All right, never look at this average per week because that doesn't matter because if you got a private bedroom, it's more. If you got a shared bathroom, that our calculator has already got these two spots, so this is what we're going to use. All right, 250 and 172. All right, so we know it's a 4-3. We know we're going to add four more, so we're going to have an 8-3. So these numbers right here have to add up to 8.
Correct.
So, well, we know there's 3 bathrooms right now. That everyone, this is just kind of quick underwriting. If we're going through this, we'll go back and look at the pictures and say, hey, we'll be able to make these 3 bathrooms private to a room. So right now we're just going, okay, there's 8 rooms, 3 are that. 250, 172. 250, 172. All right, so you're going to be bringing in $6,977 a month. All right. We know that our mortgage is 2863. There is no HOA. Utilities, $600. That's where we go into our chat GPT that we're trying to figure out.
Correct.
We go into that and say, hey, give us an idea. But right now we're just going to stick with the 600.
Sure.
All right. If other expenses, let's say you're up north where it snows. Well, I don't know what it costs for snow removal, but you'd put those in there right here as well.
Exactly.
The pad split fee, they're going to get 8%. Okay, that 8% is going to be for them to be able to um, market your place for you. So they're getting 8% of that. This is a negotiable thing right here. Other PM, property management fee. Okay, this is hey, I'm going to be the person that gets the maintenance man there. I'm going to be the person that gets the cleaners in there to turn it over. I'm going to be that person. Or you can get a property manager that can do that for you. And obviously that's going to charge. And in a place like Lakeland, you'll want to call around property managers and say, hey, how much would it be for you to manage a co-living facility? Could be 5%, could be 15%. Don't know.
Yeah, and at that point you get even more specific because they're really not taking care of the member itself, right? So there you might even get an a la carte that say where you can ask them, listen, I just need you to do these specific things, right? Manage my cleaning, right? My upkeep. You know, you could be even granular and just ask for those fees themselves because maybe a lot of these property managers don't even know what this model is, right? They're so used to what they manage traditionally. But those are stuff that you can even figure out as well. And at that point, if you're an out-of-state investor, you have to pencil in this information as well because you want a property manager and on top of these things where you can then just manage the manager, right? And then you can have your systems in place, your cleanings, how many times per week, I mean per month, right? All these little things you want to incur, and you manage the manager. So it's something that advantageous that you want to pencil in that property manager fee because again, a lot of these times these properties could be a long distance and you want eyes on them as well.
And also, a lot of times investors will be like, hey, or um, future investors, it's like, hey, I've only got one property. I can manage that. Start from day one because if you have a bad experience with that one property, it's gonna leave a bad taste in your mouth, and you're not gonna want to do it.
Yeah.
So know that, hey, I'm gonna get to whatever three or four, whatever your goal is, and go ahead and plan that out in your underwriting. That hey, somebody else is going to manage this for me. That way, the sour taste may be a me and this property manager doesn't work instead of me and these six tenants don't work. It's a big difference there.
So, so let's go through the numbers.
The vacancy 8%. 8% is 1 month that you won't have it rented, and that's all of it. So with us doing the co-living, once we get it filled at 100%, it's probably rare that all 8 rooms in this house is going to go uh, without a tenant in it for a month. But you still have to account for that.
Yeah. And Lance, can you take them up to the calculators where you can show them where we got the maintenance, the capex total of the 10 grand, where there's a carrying cost of the 3 months that gives you that equation right
Right
there,
here.
right? So that's gonna be the equation, the carrying cost for 3 months, which will total to 8569. And that 26, I can barely see that number. You get it from the prior calculator, the expense calculator, I believe, where you get that total number from. That 20, what is it, Lance?
2863.
2863. If you move over on your calculator, you'll get that from your expenses, I believe, the numbers from your expenses. I mean, the number, because that number shows up somewhere else.
Yeah, it's showing. It's coming up right here.
There you go. So that monthly number is going to tell you what we do need to cover for 3 months of expensive to onboard the property and give yourself that cushion. So that is already calculated into the other portion of the calculator. It gives you that times three.
Yep,
And that number you see in the bottom of the pad split calculator.
right there.
Yep. And then that carries over to the bottom. All this calculator works in unison. It's an awesome calc. And then it'll appear there. There you go.
Our Yep, right here the maintenance and capex. Um, capex is capital expenditures. Your roof, your refrigerator, things that you know are going to go out but don't go out monthly. Um, you've got a plan for that. Your maintenance is where, let's say, somebody sticks somebody's head through the sheetrock. Well, you got to fix that. Uh,
You leave the head in it or you take the head out?
it depends. So yeah, you have to. Something's always gonna happen. You've got to plan for it.
Listen,
And
when you have a property, you're a problem solver. This is what you do. You're a problem solver. One problem is done, on to the next one. The other one's right around the corner.
yep. And then so after all that, after all the expenses come out, and after you get your 69.77 and you pay all your expenses, you're gonna cash flow $1,351. All right, and our goal right here is $1,000. So this is a deal. All right, we'd be able to pursue it more with a cash on cash return of 24.2. I think that should be a different video for that's more for lenders if you're going to borrow money.
And you can show them that if you take them to the using OPM calculator or the next one over, where it's going to show you the breakdown of a private money partner, which that in that calculator, let's say you're a newbie, right? And you're a newbie and you say, man, I don't have the money. I found this deal like we're doing. We underwrote this deal and we say, damn, we have to find some money, right? So we do a 50-50 split, right? We're going to bring 50, we bring the deal and they bring in the money. That's kind of the 50-50 split. And then you're going to see the parameters of that first year where you get the cash on cash returns, where you get all the numbers on the bottom there. and if you go up, back up
Yep.
again, you go up a little bit, you go up there, you see the total returns, you see the investment returns, the cash on cash return, the return
And
on
then
investment, which is the return on investment, all the appreciation, the depreciation, all those parameters that come into that's what the investor gets. And your return is infinite because you don't have money in the deal. You bring in the deal, right?
something else that at least I look at is okay, that this number is great and all that, the percentages, the infinite, but what am I going to bring home a month? Is
And
my
then
deal.
what's in your pocket, man? Let's get to that, man.
Exactly.
Yeah? 'Cause
So
you want to see that money, man. You want to be, oh, okay, I got that.
yes.
Yeah, I ain't
So
mad
we
at
got to take that. We got to divide that by 12.
I ain't mad at you.
So right here, I'm gonna put $675 in my pocket every month with this, without me putting any money into it. I'm making $675 a month. All right. So a lot of times with a private money partner, you need to talk to them to see what kind of money they want. The S&P 500's what, 8-10%. So they'll want something more than that to where it's um, generally, unless you can say, hey, you're getting tax benefits, so they may want less than this. So that those are negotiations that you have with your lender. But uh,
And then if
so
you go down the calculator, you see the 5 year returns. And if you move over, you scroll to
that way.
yep, that box right there. I think if you go, yep, I think that's the 5 year. If you go up, it says 5 years, and then
Yep.
that'd be the 5 year return, total returns on investing. And you see the total return on investment and over the time, it's 180%
Yep.
to return to your private money partner. And then you see the breakdowns of the total returns of 121,000 over the span of the
5 years.
5 years holding this property. And if you go up, you see all the details, the depreciation, the interest payments, the debt pay down, the cash flow, all that, all those
Because you got to
goodies.
remember that this debt pay down is what the tenant's doing. So the tenant's paying off your loan,
Yeah.
and you're making money.
And if you scroll again to the PML, the private money lender, so this is kind of a short-term snapshot. It's a lender you bring in for a year, let's say, and they're going to want an exit on their money. They're going to know, when am I going to get my money back, right? So this is a shorter term deal where you have to have a strategy how you're going to pay your lender back, when that term is up. Either you bring in another private money lender to take place of that, or there's a different exit where you can return that money from. And then you're going to see those numbers there on the returns. Your return is always going to be infinite on your end. It's going to be a less return. And that's something that you have to come to, what is your strategy? Again, you're getting infinite returns on both ends. Just on this one, there's got to be an exit, an immediate exit, a short term. There's a short term. This is a short term lifespan on this end, for a private money lender. But again, it's how you want to maneuver and what's your strategy. But let's say we found this deal. Let's say this deal. Let's go find this. Let's go find a private money partner. Let's pitch this deal. We're gonna do a pitch deck, and we're gonna say, hey, this is the returns on this deal. We're gonna back him up with all the information, all the numbers, and then maybe it's a yay or nay or a negotiation where you think maybe you can move some numbers around, maybe. Uh, and that's kind of the ballpark of how you kind of analyze a pad split. it's a single family home with multifamily returns.
That's right.
And that was awesome. That was awesome that we able to kind of take you from soup to nuts, right? And walk you through the process. And again, it's something we just came into a decision recently and said, hey, let's go live and let's just kind of share our journey. Again, we're investors already. We're just kind of shifting models. I mean, strategies. And said, let's go live and tell the story where people can see us and learn from us as well, or we can learn from you. If you have any input, right, you can leave it in the comments as well. And I appreciate the opportunity to be able to share the experience. Thank you, Lance.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. And we're gonna put down here in the description. We'll put our both of our um, all our social media stuff, and uh, if you do want to invest with us, we're gonna put our forms down there as well, and go ahead and fill out the form, and we'll see if we can work with you as well.
Awesome. So yeah, so my IG is Manifesting Mando. So follow me on IG, Manifesting Mando. I also have a podcast called The Real Estate Deli on YouTube. So follow me there as well.
Yeah, mine is Lance Williard. That's LanceWilliard everywhere. So, but yeah, we're gonna be doing this more often. If you like what we're doing, let us know. If you don't like what we're doing, let us know
That's
that
enough
too. What would you like to change?
for sure.
So, all right. Well, Mando, I'll holler at you later. Peace.
Peace.